Hi guys, today I'm going to share a case of implant simulation with you. Now, every tooth which is removed and has to undergo now implant placement, there is a story behind every tooth. But today, without taking much of your time, I will just move on as it how to place the implant. The details why the tooth wants to be removed and the details we'll see some other time. Now, if you want to place an implant, that is virtual implant placement is done, then keep your cursor at the center of the tooth, whichever tooth the implant placement is required. Okay. So here the tooth which is today's case is tooth 2 that is your lateral incisor. So I have placed my cursor here at the center, okay? And I have chosen two sections, okay? Why? So that I have an idea of at the center of the implant, what will the implant look like after placement. One aspect, that is the mesial or the lateral you can say of the implant, and the other lateral aspect or distal aspect of the implant, okay? Now you click on here, that is the implant placement. The symbol is there. Bring your cursor on the section. Choose whatever you length you want. Like here, I have chosen to 10 mm and then release it. Okay. Once you release your cursor, you will get the options from your implant library like Hyoscine, AGS, then moreover, I have Stroman, which has many options like bone level, bone titanium, standard, n number of options are there. So you choose whatever you want. Today's case, what I am choosing is Stroman bone level tapered implant. Okay. I have selected the length of 10 mm. Okay. Now, since it's a lateral incisor, so I'll just reduce the width. That is, you can come here and use this option. Okay. Now, bring your implant at the center of the tooth. Okay. Always remember if any tooth is there and then the implant placement is required. So keep it at the center and check in all the sections. Like here, if I see, remember the distance of this implant from the tooth. The distance between these two needs to be at least 1.5 mm. So you can just check here. Yes, it's nearly 1.5 or 2 mm. So it's adequate. Now, here also, this buccal cortex, that is, you can say the bone which is towards your buccal mucosa, that is towards your cheek. So here the implant is nearly, I'll just reduce it a little bit, 2 mm. So that's also fine because the distance needs to be 1.5 mm. And here the distance is definitely adequate. Here, this is palatal cortex. That is the bone which is towards the palate, which is your roof of your mouth. Okay. So the implant is good. It's at the center. Your height is adequate and your width, the bone width is also adequate. Now, if you want, you can always do changes. Okay. Like if I want, I can increase the height to 12 mm or even more. If I want to increase the width, I have option 4.1 or even more. Okay. And then you can just change the position of the implant. Like here, one second, I'll just change it. Like, okay, if you increase the width, now you'll say, now this case, the cortex, distance between the cortex, that is the buccal cortex bone and the implant is reduced. So I will little bit please shift my implant palatally. Usually in the maxillary anterior region, we don't choose the implant of this much width. So width usually is kept of 3.3 mm, what I chose previously, and a height of 10 by 3.3 mm implant. This is very good enough. Okay. So this is about virtual implant. Now I'll show you in another video how to evaluate an implant which is already placed.